If they, the fathers, wish that the period of suckling for their children be completed, mothers may suckle their children for 2 whole years. In such a case, it is incumbent upon him who has begotten the child to provide them, that is, divorced women, their sustenance and clothing in a fair manner. But none shall be burdened with more than he is able to bear. Neither shall a mother suffer because of her child, nor shall the father be made to suffer because he has begotten him. The same duty towards the suckling mother rests upon the heir as upon him, that is, the father. And if both the parents decide by mutual consent and consultation to wean the child, there's no blame on them. If you decide to have other women suckle your children, there's no blame upon you, provided you hand over its compensation in a fair manner. Fear Allah, and know well that Allah sees all that you do. The wives of men who have died must observe a waiting period of 4 months and 10 days. When they have reached the end of the waiting term, there's no blame upon you regarding what they may do with themselves in a fair manner. Allah is well aware of what you do. There's no blame upon you whether you hint at a marriage proposal to such women or keep the proposal hidden in your hearts. Allah knows that you will think of them in that connection, but do not make any secret engagement with them and speak openly in an honorable manner. Do not resolve on the marriage tie until the ordained term has come to its end. Know well that Allah knows even what is in your hearts. So have fear of Him and know well that Allah is all forgiving, all forbearing. There's no blame upon you if you divorce your wives before you've touched them or settled a bridal gift upon them. But even in this case, you should make some provision for them, the affluent according to his means, the straitened according to his means, a provision in fair manner. That is a duty upon the good doers. And if you divorce them before you touch them or settle a bridal gift upon them, then give them half of what you have settled, unless either the women act leniently and forego their claim, or he in whose hand is the marriage tie acts leniently and pays the full amount. If you act leniently, it is closer to God-fearing, and forget not to act gracefully with one another, for indeed Allah sees all that you do. Be watchful over the prayers and over praying with the utmost excellence, and stand before Allah as would utterly obedient servants. And even if you face the state of fear, still perform the prayer, whether on foot or riding. And when you are secure, remember Allah in the manner that He taught you, the manner that you did not know earlier. Those of you who die leaving behind your wives should make testament of 1 year's provision without expulsion in favor of your wives. And if they themselves depart, there shall be no blame upon you for what they may do with themselves in an honorable manner. Allah is almighty, all-wise. Likewise, let there be a fair provision for the divorced women. This is an obligation on the God-fearing. Thus Allah makes His injunctions clear to you that you may understand. O Messenger, have you thought of those who went forth from their homes for fear of death, even though they were in their thousands? Allah said to them, die. Then He restored them to life. Indeed, Allah is bounteous to mankind, but most people do not give thanks in return. So fight in the way of Allah, and know well that Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Who of you will lend Allah a goodly loan, which He will return after multiplying it for him manifold? For Allah has the power both to decrease and increase, and to Him will you be returned. O Messenger, have you thought of what happened with the elders of the children of Israel after Moses? They asked one of their prophets, "Set up for us a king so that we may fight in the way of Allah." He said, "Would you possibly refrain from fighting if fighting is ordained for you?" They said, "And why would we not fight in the way of Allah when we have been torn from our homes and our children?" But when fighting was ordained for them, they turned back except a few of them. Allah is well aware of the wrongdoers. And their prophet said to them, "Indeed, Allah has sent forth Saul, Talut, as your king." They said, "By what right shall he rule over us, when we are more worthy than he to dominion, for he is not very wealthy?" He said, "Allah has chosen him over you and has endowed him abundantly with both intellectual and physical capacities. Allah indeed has the power to bestow dominion upon whomsoever He wills. Allah is all resourceful, all knowing." And their prophet said to them, "The sign of His dominion is that in His reign the ark, wherein is inner peace for you, will be brought back to you, and the sacred relics left behind by the house of Moses and the house of Aaron, borne by angels. Truly, and that is a sign for you, if indeed you are people of faith." When Saul, Talut, set out with his forces, he said, "Allah will try you with a river, and whoever drinks of it does not belong to me. He who refrains from tasting it, unless it be just a palmful, he indeed belongs to me." Then all except a few of them drank their fill at the river. But as soon as Saul, Talut, and the believers with him went forth across the river, they said, "Today we have no strength to face Goliath, Jalut, and his forces." But those who believed that they were bound to meet their Lord said, "How often has a small party prevailed against a large party by the leave of Allah? Allah is with those who remain steadfast." And when they went forth against Goliath, Jalut, and his forces, they prayed, "Our Lord, shower us with patience, and set our feet firm, and grant us victory over this unbelieving people." Thereupon, by Allah's leave, they put the unbelievers to flight, and David killed Goliath. And Allah granted him dominion and wisdom, and imparted to him the knowledge of whatever He willed. And were it not that Allah repelled some people with another, the earth would surely be overlaid with mischief. But Allah is bounteous to the people of the world, and thus extirpates mischief. These are the signs of Allah, which we recite to you in truth. For indeed, you are one of those entrusted with the message. And these messengers who have been designated to guide people, we have exalted some of them above the others. Among them are such as were spoken to by Allah Himself, and some He exalted in other respects. And we granted Jesus, son of Mary, clear signs, and supported Him with the spirit of holiness. Had He willed, those who had seen these clear signs would not have fought one another thereafter. But it was not the will of Allah to prevent people from disagreement by compulsion. Hence, they differed among themselves, whereby some attained faith and others denied the truth. Yet had Allah so willed, they would not have fought one another. Allah does whatever He wills. O you who believe, spend out of what we have provided you before there comes a day when there will be no buying and selling, nor will friendship and intercession be of any avail. Indeed, those who disbelieve are the wrongdoer. Allah, the ever-living, the self-subsisting, by whom all subsist. There's no God but He, neither slumber seizes Him, nor sleep. To Him belongs all that is in the heavens and all that is in the earth. Who is there who might intercede with Him, save with His leave? He knows what lies before them and what is hidden from them, whereas they cannot attain to anything of His knowledge, save what He wills them to attain. His dominion overspreads the heavens and the earth, and their upholding wearies Him not. He is all high, all glorious. There's no compulsion in religion. The right way stands clearly distinguished from the wrong. Hence he who rejects the evil ones and believes in Allah has indeed taken hold of the firm, unbreakable handle. And Allah, whom He has held for support, is all-hearing, all-knowing. Allah is the guardian of those who believe. He brings them out of every darkness into light. And those who disbelieve, their guardians are the evil ones. They bring them out of light into all kinds of darkness. These are destined for the fire, and there shall they abide.